Hi, boys and girls. Let's talk about reading. So, you've been reading your books, and your books are getting harder and harder. The words are getting more challenging, and the work is getting a little bit more difficult. Doesn't mean you give up, because remember, you're the boss of your reading. So, today I want to talk about something else, because we've been talking a lot about when you find a hard word in your book, how do you figure out your word? Right? All the tools that we've been talking about using, check the picture, read the word part by part. Those are all about figuring out hard words. But that's not the only thing you need to do, boys and girls, when you're reading your books. Something else that is very, very important, maybe the most important thing about reading, is understanding what you're reading. If you figure out the words, but you don't understand the story, it's not good. So today we're going to talk about tools for understanding our books. And this is the first tool I want to show you, boys and girls. Check that you're getting it. Make sure that you're understanding it. Every time you read 2 pages, stop and do a retell. See if you could talk to a friend about your book. And if you can't, then you have to reread. Go back and reread to see if you can understand the pages better. So we're going to do that with Zelda and Evie. This book has different chapters, right? And we already read the first chapter, The Runaways. Now we're going to read chapter 2. It's called The Time Capsule, and it begins on page 17. So I'm going to go to page 17, and I'm going to start reading on page 17. Okay. I like to look at the picture. The girls are hanging out. It looks like in their backyard. It looks like one of the girls is riding on this container. She has her doll. I think there's jewelry here. So let me put this a little closer so you can look better at the pictures. Okay, chapter 2, The Time Capsule. Zelda wrote the label, so she's writing outside of here on the label. Zelda wrote the label with a fat pen. A gift from the world of the past to the world of the future. This is a time capsule, she said. She rubbed her lucky jewel against her shirt and dropped it into the box. 100 years from now, someone will open this box and find my lucky jewel. What are you going to put in? Okay. So, boys and girls, now I'm going to check that I'm getting it. Tools for understanding our books. I'm going to check that I'm getting it. Let's see. So I know that Zelda and Evie are in the backyard. And I know that one of the girls is writing a label and it says, this is a gift. But I'm not sure if this is a gift for their friends or a gift for each other, a gift for their parents. I'm really not quite sure. So let me reread. A gift from the world of the past to the world of the future. This is a time capsule. So I think that on this page, Evie and Zelda are telling us what a time capsule is. I believe this is the time capsule, this right here. And maybe it has to do with this jewelry here, but this is the time capsule. But I'm a little confused because I don't really know what a time capsule is. So I'm going to keep reading, and then maybe I could understand a little better. Okay, I'm going to reread this page. She rubbed her lucky jewel against her shirt and dropped it into the box. 100 years from now, someone will open this box and find my lucky jewel. What are you going to put in? Okay, so this explains it a little more. When I read on this page, it says that 100 years from now, somebody's going to open this box and find this jewel. So one of the sisters is putting that stone, that jewel in here for 100 years. Now, 100 years from now is a long time from now. So this gift is not for their friends, it's not for their parents, and it's not for each other. It seems like this gift is for the world of the future. That's what the label said. So they want to put things inside this box so that maybe somebody can find it in 100 years. See how I'm stopping, boys and girls, when I read the pages and I retell to make sure that I'm getting it. How about a worm book? So she wants to put her worm book that they made together in this container, in this box. Come on, said Zelda. Put in something really good. Remember, it's for the children of the future. Okay, so just to check that I'm getting it, I do a little retail. So it looks like Zelda wants to put in her lucky jewel, and Evie wanted to put in a book, but Zelda's telling her, no, you have to put something more important in the box. Evie sighed. Evie sighed. She hugged Princess Mimi and added her to the box. Zelda buried the time capsule under the cherry tree. Boy, I'm so confused now. Because this is a gift for somebody and they're burying it in the yard? Let me reread. Evie sighed. She hugged Princess Mimi and added her to the box. Zelda buried the time capsule under the cherry tree. Okay, so it looks like when I reread that Zelda ended up putting her doll Mimi, into the time capsule. And then they buried it under this tree. So it went under the ground. That's probably what a time capsule is then. Something that you hide so that people a long time from now can find it. Let's keep reading. Later that day, Evie sat on the swing and drew circles in the dirt with her paw. If only I had Princess Mimi, I could play castle. Inside the house, Zelda worked on her piano recital piece. If only I had my lucky jewel, I could get that crossover hands part. Okay, so it looks like the sisters are in the house now, and it looks like one of them is missing her doll, and the other one is missing her lucky jewel. She thinks it'll help her play the piano better. Outside, Evie could stand it no longer. She dug up the time capsule and pulled out her doll. Then she noticed the box was empty. Evie heard a noise in the bushes. She stuffed Mimi back into the box. Oh, so this sister went back to the box to take out her doll, and then she noticed this was empty. So her sister put a jewel and it wasn't in there anymore. I'm confused. Maybe I have to reread. Let me make sure that her sister put the jewel in there. Now, if I go all the way back on page 18, I see 100 years from now, someone will open this box and find my lucky jewel. What are you going to put in? So she did put the jewel in there, but now the jewel is missing. She took out her doll, but there was nothing inside the time capsule. So she heard some noise and she put her doll back. And now I'm wondering what happened to the jewel. Why isn't the lucky jewel inside the time capsule? Why? I don't know. I guess I have to keep reading my book to find out. But I'm going to stop right here for now, boys and girls, because I want you to do what I was doing when I was reading Zelda and Evie the Runaways. Okay? In order to make sure you're understanding your books, I want you to check that you're getting it. After you read 2 pages, stop and talk about the book and see if you understand it. If you understand it, you can keep reading. But if you don't understand it and you're a little confused, I want you to reread. Happy reading.